put a shortcut icon for it on your desktop. So if you selected that, you can just hover over that icon and click on it and boot up your game. As you may or may not know, Magic the Gathering Arena is a PC port of a popular trading card game, which is has been around for several decades now. It was invented by a math professor and his students, and it's a mathy game and a strategy games. So when you double click the icon, it takes a minute to boot up, and it takes you to here. This is your home screen. On this screen, there's a few things that the game shows you. Up here, you have a series of tabs. Home, like I said, profile. This can show you different parts about the profile. Over here, decks. You click on that to see your cards. We'll look at that some more later. Packs. This is where you would open packs of cards that you would buy. Over here, and where do you buy packs of cards? Well, glad you asked, because that's the next tab over at the store, where you can purchase different things such as over here. This shows features, cosmetic things. You can't see it in the screen, but down here there's also another lower set of tabs where you can just see purchase different gems. Here, this is the in-game currency. You can purchase packs. These are packs of virtual cards, which are actually what you use to play the game. Daily deals, bundles, avatars, so on and so forth. So while you're still on the home screen too, over here it shows you this is the advertising screen, where it advertises a lot of the purchases I just showed you in that last part. Over here on the right are different game modes that you can play. Up here, some people may or may not notice this, but there's a little tab that you can switch to turn on some advanced and simple options. But we're not going to go into those right now. Also from the home screen is where you would go to play a game of Magic. Down here also at the bottom, just cut off from the screencast, but you can see the top of it. There's a pill-shaped button, an orange pill-shaped button labeled play. You would click on that to start a game. And the game shows you different options here, but which you can modify by, clicking that tab. That's really what that does. But we're not going to go into that right now. So yeah, like I said, this is a port of a popular trading card game. So one mechanic of this game is that the player collects and trades cards. Now, there's not really a way that you can trade cards here, but you definitely get to collect cards. The game rewards you with currency and also just cards that you get to add to your collection that you can play virtually. So why don't we just get into that? Why don't we go into where your cards are? So to go into your cards, you go into the decks, and this decks tab here is one of the most important ones in this game, and it's a really complicated one that we could definitely spend more than a few minutes talking about if we really wanted to. But we'll try to go right back. We'll try to zoom through as much as we can. So yeah, after you click on your decks tab, it takes you to the decks window. Over here you see a series of boxes. So these are decks, like virtual decks of like a deck of decks of cards, just like a poker deck or any other kind of, or a flashcard deck, any other kind of set of cards. These are Magic decks in Magic the Gathering boxes that are beautifully illustrated here. You can click on any one of them, double click it to see the contents, and it opens it up and takes you to your deck management window, which is even more complicated than the last. But to see the actual contents of this box, you go over here to the right. This right part this is the list of the actual cards that are included in this deck, and you sort of hover over you hover your pointer over each one, and it brings it up and it shows you the card, and you get to see the title and the artwork associated with it, the type of card that it is. And then there's some text there too. And this text sort of says what the card does as it is put into play. I don't know if you're familiar with the game or not, but all of these cards sort of do different things as they're put into play. And it's really amazing to think about how all of these little interactions have been meticulously programmed to work with each other, just, so seamlessly, because there really are tens of thousands of these cards that have been printed, and just all meticulously recreated in virtual format in this game, which is not a visually stunning game, but it's pretty amazing to think how they took something so complicated and are just able to make it work. So you have your cards over here on the right. You can add or take away cards by clicking on them. So you can say I want to take one of these cards away. I just click on its title and it disappears. There you see the quantity of the card goes down. And likewise, I can hover over here and you see a little plus sign and I can add it again. Over here on the left is the window where you can manage the different cards that you could put into this box for play. The little diamonds up here, the unshaded diamonds with orange around them, represent how many of these cards you have available. And when they're shaded in, that means how many of the cards are actually in the deck. So as I'm adding another card, it goes in, you click on this and you take it out. And so this is just kind of the main window that you use to manage all the cards you play. Hopefully this was helpful and illustrates that I know how to use both Screencast and Magic the Gathering Arena, which, is a very complicated app, that I could talk about for hours and hours and hours, but this is probably enough to fulfill the assignment. Thank you. And yeah, good night. Have a great day or night.